Hey, welcome everybody. Coach BK, Wolfpack Tri Club, and Brave Soul Coaching. So today we're going to be talking about prioritizing you. Prioritizing you. In the last video we talked about self-care, and so now that we understand that it's important to get to the end of the week and not want to stab anybody with our fork, we need to kind of dole out time, even little smidges of time where we're doing self-care. Okay, because let's be real about it, and I didn't say this in the last video, but you're crazy cookie eating in the middle of the night is self-care, and it might be because you didn't dole out some self-care, during the day. You need a timeout. Sometimes I put myself in a timeout in the interest of not stabbing anybody with a fork later. Okay, so what does this mean? Like, how do we do this? And we need to get in the mind frame that we need to prioritize ourselves. So a really big example of this is in the airplane, right? They always say, moms and dads, put your oxygen mask on your face first and then your kid. Just so, because if you pass out, nobody's taking care of the kid, okay? This is kind of what we're talking about. You need to do self-care. You need to prioritize yourself. So at the end of the day, you are not just completely dry and done and, keeled over, whatnot. And, maybe you're just completely vibrant and everything is nice and balanced. So, let's keep this narrowed down to moms. You got jobs, you got a lot of different responsibilities, kind of running your own household. You're the center and the boss of the world, right, in your house. And you have these babies and you have these kids, and they're really terrible about understanding boundaries, and they're really terrible about understanding that mom does need to go to the bathroom by herself, or take a bath by herself, or take a shower by herself. And sometimes we get to the point with our kids and whatnot that they don't understand boundaries very well, or it's hard for you to prioritize yourself because you are this wonderful person of a giver. Moms are givers. They want to do, right? And so prioritizing yourself can maybe be the last priority when, in the case of the airplane, should be the first one, okay? The adage, if mom's happy, everybody's happy. I mean, it's true, but let's say it in a better way, that if you can role model taking care of yourself, you role model that to them, they learn good boundaries, and then they learn that they need to take care of themselves too. So, coffee time in the morning where there's not a lot of loud noise could be your jam. Could be, how you prioritize yourself. Say, I'm going to make breakfast, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do that for you, but I'm going to enjoy a cup of coffee first. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, I need this, 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 and this, it's okay to prioritize yourself a little bit, more at home than maybe at the job. This is at work with your boss, but, it's okay to say, hey, let me get back with you on that. I'm right in the middle of this, or I'm right in the middle of that, and what you're asking me is important, but right now I'm doing this, okay? And because it's important to you, and kind of getting that understanding in your relationships, and then the dynamics of your house or your friend circle, team stuff, etc., is okay, and it's really good. There are some reasons why we don't do that very well, so I'll talk about myself a little bit. I have mom guilt. I have made a plethora of mistakes, and so sometimes I overcompensate and I overdo this and I overdo that because, right, all of that. You have guilt because, oh, my kid's going to be messed up because I didn't do this right and I didn't do that right, and so we feel guilty prioritizing ourselves, maybe a little bit, and then sometimes we just feel guilty for prioritizing ourselves because I think that June Cleaver kind of set us up a little bit way back when she, role modeled this perfect, always at everybody's beck and call. Okay, so prioritizing yourself in order to do that self-care that we were talking about in that previous video. Sometimes it's hard to prioritize yourself because in order to do that, you have to establish healthier boundaries, say with your spouse. Maybe he's a little not doing housework, or feels like you're working and he's working, but he gets to come home and play in the garage, and you have to cook and you have to clean and you have to do this and you have to do that. And if that's the case, then it's can be a difficult chore to retrain everybody in order to kind of carve out steal, beg, borrow time for you to prioritize yourself. If that's the scenario, you might want to do it in tiny little increments, starting out with good conversations like, hey, can you do this for me while I have freedom to go do this? I will exchange this for that. Hopefully that works. And sometimes it doesn't. So, but let's just call that what it is. So if that's the case, if you're in, a situation to where that's not going to work and whatever, then you need to figure out how to find stolen moments. But you still need to work on, it's okay to prioritize yourself. You're just not going to be able to do it like at that time, like what we were describing. So what does that mean? Heck, I don't know. If you need to take extra bits of time before you go home and stop at a park to prioritize something a little bit, do that. It's okay. It's okay to prioritize your self-care. You're telling yourself when you do that that you love yourself, that you are of value, and that you need to do that. Getting your workouts in, doing the things that you need to be doing in order to get to the goals that you want, we need to figure out and be real clear on, prioritizing and structuring out our days. Generally, most of us, I know life is busy. Life gets really busy. However, there generally is choices that you can make each and every day to get in 30 minutes or an hour of exercise a day, at least 30 minutes. Maybe you're multitasking. Maybe you need to get smarter and be like, okay, I'm going to do a fast walk and I'm going to listen to this class lecture at the same time. Or, whatever it is. I'm going to meal prep while I'm cooking dinner. We really need to be honest with how busy we are and what we're actually doing. Making yourself a priority for the things that you value is really key, and you want to role model that for your kids, and you want to make sure that you're rolling through life constantly adjusting with the change of time and with the situations and whatnot. So I just wanted to throw that out there as, prioritizing to a point what you need and what you want. And if you're in a situation to where it's really hard in order to get certain things done, you got to ask yourself, is this what you want? Okay. And if it's not, then you have to ask yourself, what do I do to stimulate some change? Have a conversation with some people? Do I need to lighten my load? Do I need to, put some things on somebody else's plate? As our kids here get older, part of the way I'm prioritizing myself, I could very well do some things in here faster without harping on them. But I have passed on some things to them purposely so I can have time to do things that I want to do. And that's okay. And they can pull their own weight too, right? Kids need responsibility. They need to understand boundaries. They need to understand, and it's okay if we don't do everything for them. And especially if you've made some mistakes, you don't need to continue to make up for things. Sometimes it's okay, and just move on, drive on. So prioritizing yourself, your goals, is very important. And prioritizing your self-care so that you can feed into you being nice and calm. So if you get home and you're completely frazzled and you're stressed out and you're yelling at everybody and things aren't getting done and your kids aren't listening and you aren't calm and you're not putting out a calm energy, and it's just going to snowball into kind of more chaos. So the 5-10 minutes that you either stole or redid something or didn't do this just quite right, like you didn't, clean the bathroom perfect, you just kind of did a fast job and you spent 5 minutes sitting outside on the swing calming down. So then when everybody got home, you were calm, cool, collected, and the energy you were putting off was a little bit more softer, and so they were more apt to listen and do things, and then the whole house just kind of rolled a little bit better. Everything was smoother. This is what prioritizing your self-care can get for the whole realm of things. So if you're not going to do it for you, yourself, do it for the fact that it does make things easier in the end. Because if you don't end up stabbing anybody with a fork, that's just way better. Because if you do stab them with a fork, then you've got a lot of other problems to take care of, and it's going to be so much harder than if had you figured out how to steal the 5 minutes in the first place to calm the heck down. Prioritize your self-care in the interest of not stabbing anybody, everything running a little bit smoother, or you being happier. Anyway, have a good day. Let me know what you think. Namaste. Welcome everybody. Coach BK, founder of Brave Soul Coaching and Wolfpack Tri Club. Wanted to invite you to some more of our videos. If you want to watch a previous video, click over there and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We do just a ton of amazing, awesome stuff, and so you're not going to want to miss out on that. If you're interested in coaching, either nutrition, strength training, triathlon, running, life coaching as well, be sure to check out our website, wolfpacktriclub.com, and have an epic day.